Welcome to the July 2nd edition of Markets Demystified from ESOP Advisor, LLC. I'm your host and the owner of ESOP Advisor, Jonathan Oden. This edition, Tariff Creep, 100-Year Trade War. Tariff Redux. Tariffs have been commonly used by U.S. presidents for decades and are typically targeted to a certain industry or product from a specific country. In contrast, the current administration has implemented broad, worldwide tariffs that go far beyond the duties imposed during the same administration's previous trade war with China. The levies announced on April 2nd, Liberation Day, far surpassed the scope of the first-term tariffs, with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell commenting they were significantly larger than anticipated. The last time such sweeping global tariffs were implemented was during the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930, which is widely viewed as having worsened the Great Depression. Rollback. The administration announced a series of tariffs starting in February, leading up to the April 2nd Liberation Day. By the time Liberation Day tariffs were announced, markets had already dipped by 7%. The staggering tariffs on dozens of countries announced on Liberation Day blindsided markets, sending stocks plunging an additional 12%. Markets careened as much as 19% below February highs in less than 2 months, bumping against the cusp of a technical bear market. In a pivotal move, on April 9th, a 90-day pause was announced for reciprocal tariffs. Since then, markets have reversed their declines, further fueled by a crucial May 12th agreement between the U.S. and China to de-escalate their tariff battle. Delayed impact. Even with current pauses on higher rates, global tariffs remain at the highest levels since 1934. And while inflation has remained tame, it is possible that price increases are on the way. In anticipation of tariffs, many companies front-loaded purchases, causing U.S. GDP to decline for the first time in 3 years as merchants scrambled to boost inventories ahead of higher levies. However, an abrupt end to the massive front-loading of goods was signaled by the U.S. trade deficit narrowing by the most on record in April. As front-loaded inventory is depleted, it may become more difficult for companies to delay passing tariff costs on to customers. Some of the world's largest retailers have said they expect tariffs to result in higher prices for consumers, including Walmart, which planned to raise prices by this month. Stagflation worries. With interest rates still elevated as the Fed attempts to conclude its historic campaign against post-pandemic inflation, investors remain focused on eagerly awaited rate cuts. One concern regarding the Fed is that higher prices will be accompanied by a slowdown in the labor market. This could put the Fed into a difficult situation of choosing between its dual mandate of stable prices and full employment, leaving investors to anticipate if it will keep rates elevated to quell inflation or lower them to prevent job losses. While markets seem to have concluded that the worst is over for tariff policy after the April 9th pivot and May 12th agreement, uncertainty still lingers over the effects tariffs will have on prices, and upcoming inflation data may remain an important focal point for markets. Fed Chair Jerome Powell has said he expects price pressures from tariffs to show up within the next few months. Thank you for listening to Markets Demystified from ESOP Advisor LLC, where we relate investing to personal money management. Visit us on the web at esopadvisor.com. That's AESOP advisor.com, or call us at 940-268-4161. The preceding information is not meant as individual investment, legal, or tax advice. ESOP Advisor LLC advertisements are for informational purposes only and are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any asset. All investments involve risk, and the past performance of a security or financial product does not guarantee future results or returns. While diversification may help spread risk, it does not assure profit or protect against loss. ESOP Advisor LLC does not provide tax or legal services.